So I'm at the front of the RV. I'm going to try and get this wooden crossmember out and this rotten wood from the bottom of the floor from underneath this crossmember. So I don't know what I'm going to do yet, but there's that one stud that was in there. I cut it from the bottom. Get that out. That looks like it went down only through wood. Barely touched the aluminum. It didn't really even, well, it didn't touch the aluminum, it was just into the wood, which didn't really do anything for the wood. It's literally in the corner and has aluminum showing there. That was practically useless. But I'm going to go underneath and start cutting away some plastic here just to see what I'm dealing with. This brace, I can move it. I just put that there. Yeah, I think I'm going to get some, jack it up on this side, just, you know, 1/4 inch or so. Get everything removed from underneath it. I have to build myself some nice blocking so I could support this and this corner as I remove this. That's the goal anyway. Let's just start to cut things out and see what we got here. So just in the corner, this is the piece of that laminate that was on this back wall, and it's on all the walls. You just notice it came down, cut it, just removed it. Just sandwiched behind there. But this piece of wood appears to be like, I don't think it's doing anything, to tell you the truth. I didn't even put jacks under there yet because I'm not even worried, because I don't think it's doing anything. I'm gonna clean this all up. I guess there is a bit of metal there showing from this frame, but it's all, the bearing is on this guy. All the bearing is on that guy, so all your support is coming across here and the loads are sitting on there. So that's going there. All the loads are being transferred pretty much right to that point on both sides. And because that's solid all the way across, you know, unless those gave away, that would buckle in the middle. I notice it has a little bit of bend in it, but in all reality, I could cut that. That's not creating a big enough moment because that's straight across. That's literally, you could cut that aluminum in half and this is not going to drop. All the loads are on that outrigger right there. That's why my little cuts I made with the saw by accident, they didn't open up or cause any fractures, because it's literally everything is on that one point right there. This wood here maybe had a little bit of bearing, but not much. But what I'm gonna do is once I get it out, I'm gonna see, because this has, and it's not even on there. Let me see if I can get under here. Show you. So here, under here, there's that arm. There's a gap. So the wood's not even sitting on there to take any load. Weird setup. So I'm going to try to get that out of there cleanly all the way across. And then when I put the other one in, I'm going to sit it. Oh, where's the focus? Oh, that little guy's screwing it up. Yeah, I'm going to sit it on there. Oh, shut you off by mistake. Yeah, so that guy's extends out, and that other wood is not even going down because there's a little bit of a little, like I mean a little, like a 1/4 inch of a ledge left over from where the aluminum isn't sitting on. And really, so this wood is taking about a 1/4 inch of the load, which is absolutely nothing. Everything is all on the aluminum. So I'm going to try to put in this, take this out, put in a new one, but also somehow cut it in a way that it'll be notched. So it could go over here and then notch, so I could put some bearing onto this also going across. And then that'll take some more load. Seems like a screw up on their part actually doing it like this, or just, well, just quickly putting it together, but it's not serving any function. So that's going to be tricky, but should get this supported though. Get some support under here, maybe even a little bit of a, no, actually just right under there, just to be safe. Same thing, just under there, vertical support, just to be safe, because I am taking a little bit of the support away from it. Anyway, that's the Crossmember, wooden Crossmember in the front of your ultralight, which doesn't add up to me, doesn't make sense. To me, this is where all the load should be, right under that point right there. It should be taking the bulk of your load, but it's not. It's right here, because that outrigger is right there. And even that screw on this one, let's see, that bolt, I don't even know if I can get this one out. Looks like it's almost sandwiched under here a little bit. And before I mess with this side, I better get some support. Yeah, looking at this more closely, so everything is sitting on this outrigger, which is probably, where's my measuring tape? You know, this is what I got, an inch wide for the aluminum, and then it's about an inch and, say, an inch and a half, inch and 3/4, this whole piece. So this is taking up an inch of it, and then this wood was taking up the other little bit to support right there, and then this whole area here is just free floating. Sure, there's wood under it, but it's not doing anything except being a nailer board for underneath. Under here, there's a long strip I got to remove, that spot where things are screwed into it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go support this corner here, lift it up, try to lift it up a 1/4 inch or so, and get that wrought material out, and then get this out. We'll have to zip it because we got screws in behind. And then when I put it back in, I'm actually, since there's a drop here and it goes through, I'm going to put some wood down all the way to that and then get right to here. This will leave this little section open, but I'll also sandwich something in there, so I'll have support here on top of the frame, and then direct support all the way across under there with some wood. It's not going to be the greatest, but what I'll do is, since these are those corners, I'll probably put a piece upright on either side. And that'll be glued and screwed, so that should be a lot stronger than it is. And just underneath here, taking out the screw over there, screw, and then screws go all the way down. So I'll take those out, and I'll try to get some support under here. Bend this flashing out a little bit so I can get some support under that. Hopefully that doesn't go through the aluminum, I hope. Looks like it's on a really bad angle. It should only go through the wood. For under here, got all those screws out. That's goes there, and that screws into the wood underneath. That just comes out, and This would have been a part of, you can't see, this would have been a part of the bottom of the floor. That has a membrane still on it. I gotta rip off, and then the wood sitting underneath that wood member. This is part of the first layer of the floor. So you just go and rip it all out from under the frame here. You can see where I'm at. Trying to capture this, but hard light on my back. So I got up on blocks a little bit. Just a bit nervous. I took it down, like there's weight on it, and I got this bolt out. I had to cut that side. I actually did. They went through the corner of the aluminum to get that through there. So I'm gonna have to follow that same thing, but I'll have to, with my new stud, I'll have to cut it. Actually, I think my head's smaller. It might be able to fit in. But I think I'm about to peel this wood off, and it's the same as the one in the back. It's in two pieces, a bottom piece and a top piece. A little strange, but that's how they did it. Well, I'm going to try to get that out of here. I'm supported. If it drops, it drops. So how I did it though is I cranked up the front and brought it up, wedged things under the frames, and then now I'm going to lower it down a little bit. Take some pressure off of this. That's the goal. I'm going to hit record and capture a disaster if it happens. Probably only going to lower it down about a half an inch. We didn't hear any bangs. That's a good sign. I know I definitely got lots of pressure on there because I lowered it and I barely had anything left. So I'm going to try to get this wood out. I feel like I'm going to take a heart attack, but I got lots of little screws and things. I don't know if you can see. Little things I got to zip out here in order to get it. I got some staples along the back side of this one here, and I got some screws holding the wood to this cross member here. So actually I'll just pause while I zip around through this to keep this video short. So I just zipped those all spots that had the screws here, 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 and here. Nothing collapsed on me yet. Two pieces. You can see it's cut on an angle. Same as the other one. There's two. There's another one under here. Same one's angled the other way. But this is. Oh, there we go. So that was your top one. Put that aside because I'll use these angles as a template. Oh, and my other one here, I got all the. I gotta get rid of all the staples. Should be a closer view. Just a tight view with my nose here. So yeah, so you can see the top one at an angle like this. And the bottom one has the opposite angle. right here. And that's how they did it. That's all kind of stapled in, so I got to go under here with my zip disc and staple it. I forgot one screw. And then get this bottom piece out. And that's the bottom of the original floor. The original floor was just laid across the top all the way. Then the framing was put down on it. So I'll zip that off and turn it back on in a bit. Actually, instead of zipping it, see that it's nails, so I was just able to kind of get a wedge under there and wedge it down. So here's another one. Give you an idea what that looks like. So this is the angle of the bottom piece, and that's so that kind of rim, you know, that's kind of that long piece of plastic that goes on the outside, screws into here, so that goes under there, and then your top angle piece goes there. So put that there, and then see if I could show you what I mean. Oh, there's a nail right there. Another nail. There. Got them all out. Oh, screw. So obviously I have to keep doing this whole entire RV. Kind of rotten wood everywhere. Do I need that? No, I got the other one for the angle. I need that angle. Now, like I said, this is the original floor that would have been put on before this frame, this tougher frame. Just gonna get. I don't want to pull it too hard, just because. I know that corner is weakened just because they drilled a hole into the aluminum, so I don't want to put too much stress on that. But yeah, I'm just going to get my zip or my X-Acto knife and snip all that out, clean everything that's underneath between the aluminum and the steel. And what I'm going to have to do is I'm going to have to put some sort of something to separate the steel and aluminum. They had floor, but I have some kind of, it's like a rubberized separation, so I won't get any of that galvanic corrosion shit happening. It'll separate the two, and I'll probably put a bead of glue in there. And you can see this buckle, but it's not doing anything. It's buckling just to buckle. Like, it's completely supported. It's a brutal design. Yeah, like I could cut that. Nothing would happen. Those angles are probably just down a little bit and not perfectly in line with this cross member here. That's why you're getting rid of that buckle. So I'm gonna cut you off and get my X-Acto knife out and start snipping this stuff away. Actually, I gotta go and get a metal blade for that tool. This guy here, whatever that fucker's called, just to kind of get under there and zip off the little screws and nails. I can't get in there, it's too tight. And then to clean up some of the corners. So I gotta go get a metal one. I just have a wood one, does nothing. And also I have to, I have some things I gotta pick up. Juice cleanse kit, and they close at 5, so I gotta get out of here. So it looks like from the outside. Say I had cranked that up, put my weights and my supports under it. Just so about 1/4 inch, and then brought it back down to take the weight off it. That's why I know I'm kind of safe, but that's how I did that. I had to ruin the flashing for it, but it's alright. Come along sooner or later. slow and steady. So I come up with my beam design. This is going to be one part of it. Will sit like this. And then another part that goes under that aluminum frame is like that. So this will be the full kind of cross section. But the beam will be like, this is 2.5 inches here. Here's the drawing. My drawing. So I'm gonna start ripping the wood because I got 2x4s, so I got to rip them down to 2.5. So I'm gonna do that now. The skill saw. And it's nice because it has a 1-inch setting right there. So I'm just gonna hold my finger under that to the wood. I'm not sure if you can see it. And then pull it all the way through. Should give me a good clean cut for 2.5 inch wide. Yeah. We're gonna give you a little video of me ripping it. And I screwed it in at the end on the side that's going to be waste, so I could push it. Quick check. See how bad we did. How good we did. Two and a half, maybe a little heavy. All right. There, I got both of them cut. And before I notch out that little corner, I'm actually going to glue and screw them together first. And then once this is done, then I'll notch out that corner. I want this to be a really good bond. Any excess that squeezes out afterwards, just wipe it off. And for what I'm going to do is I'm going to line up my uncut bottoms. So the bottoms that aren't cut, those are what's getting lined up. Then if there's any unevenness up top, I can address that later. These screws are 2.5 inch deck screws. Anybody's curious, I'll probably put 2 every foot. Something like that. get my bottom flush. I said probably about 2 every foot. You don't have to see me screwing all this together, but I'll show you the finished product after. So I got it all screwed in. I forgot to, so I had to alternate my screws, move them a bit more off this because I have a 7/8 notch that's got to go in here, 1/2 inch thick, like we have in here. So I'm going to rip that down, set that blade to 1/2 inch. I'm going to go down the best I could and then just do multiple passes and then take it out with a chisel. So I'll just show you the first cut. Somewhere around there. Make sure I kind of got our 1/2 inch. I might go one more blade width wide, and then I'll just do multiple passes. Yeah, I'll show you what it looks like after. So I went through it all. I'll go ahead and show what I'll do now. There's my hammer. So I just zip through everything real quick. I'll just go through it like this. Take my time. And knock all those cuts off. And then I'll smooth it out with the saw, just kind of going sideways afterwards. Yeah. So you do that, and then I'll just show you the finished product after. Definitely need both hands to do this. Just doing that all the way up and down, and then later with a sanding disc, if I see any high or low spots, I'll use my chisel or just give it a good sand. Other than that, it comes off pretty quick. So now it's time to cut my angled piece. Fuck, I'm sick of looking at that thumb. I wish it would just fall off already. Anyway, so what I did is I'm going to actually screw this down again there, so when I push, it doesn't kick out onto me. So I put a scribe the line on there. But what I'm doing, I set my saw to 40 degrees. So you guys got that up in front. And I'll be pushing this way. But what I did is, since I'm pushing that way, let me turn around here. I just took this, put it like that, because this is my template. Then I scribed that line all the way down. And now I'm just going to put my mark on the line, and actually it almost works out perfectly. It'll give me a little spot to hold my finger right there to keep it even Steven. Then you can see, actually there's the line right there. So I'll hold it right about there. Oh, because it's on the angle. So it'll line up with that second notch. Yeah, and then I'm going to run my saw down there, and that'll be it for my pieces. What I did. I just hit a screw or something. Well, I cut through that screw. There we go. Perfect. I got my other piece. This one will go on first. And then the second one will go on at another time afterwards. And then glued and screwed in between. But right now I'm going to go get a flat or a disc, a grinding disc for wood to clean these up, because I know when I fit it, it's not going to fit perfect. So it'll be a quick way to get like a 60 grit, 40 grit grinding wheel, flat disc. Clean these guys up when I test fit it. But that won't be tonight, but I'm going to go pick that up. But tonight I'm actually going to clean this surface up, because I know it's a little uneven, and actually put a coat of Minwax on them. That's it. Actually, and I just checked, so this is the keeper one, and it's exactly the size I wanted to cut. But the leftover one, actually, I don't know, it must have been just even Steven, lines up perfectly. One was cut out of this was from a 2x3, and that's from a 2x4. But now I have two of them. So these are the things I want to buy. Should have went to Princess Auto, but here we go. 40 grit. Clean up some of that wood nicely. Might as well grab 2 of them. Had to take this trim off. That was like that. And this guy was on top. Oh, yeah, like that underneath. Wait, this way or something. And under there, which I had to bend and get out. So I'll have to figure that out in the future Adam problem. I got it. The first one in, test fit it. And I went to test fit this guy and I was a bit fat, so I had to rip it lengthways. 1/2 inch or 1/4 inch. So now we'll test fit it again. I got it test fitted in. Everything seems to be okay. And you know what? I'm just gonna go ahead and stick it in here right now. So I'm just gonna put a big bunch of glue here, squish that in. And then I had to go back and do a bit more of finagling cuts and grinds with this, but it drops right in. So I'm going to go do that now, and then at least we're going to have better support than we did with the original design. And yeah, I'm going to do that now. I'll put the camera up in the corner. You can watch. I'm sticking this first one. Where did my glue go? Here it is. Oh, super duper glue. I'm not shy with the glue. Good luck to the next person that will be taking this apart. Definitely not going to be me. I would rather burn it than do that. I got that now. Glue all the way to the end. Not sure if you can see that, but good little bead of glue on there. So now I'll just push this into place. Nice and tight on this end. Should get my little hammer at least. Tap it into place. Where's the hammer? Tap it. Just kind of gotta push it and over it. Wiggle it. There. Now. Another bead of glue on the inside of this wood. And a bead on the bottom here of the steel that it sits on. I have too much wood. Put that shit on everything. Put that shit on everything. A little bit's gonna rub off when I sandwich it, so I make sure I get it all. just the way it goes on, it'll rub off. Now the cider goes this way. Oh, I don't know if you can see. Might have to go out and knock this in. I think I will have to go outside and knock it in about 4 inches or so. I'll do it with my hammer. What am I hooked on, for fuck's sakes? Oh. It was hitting the frame, it kind of lifted up as I was poking it through. Lifting up. How am I going to do this? Actually, I'm going to need something to hold this side down a little bit as I give it its last little poke. Because it's lifting up on me. Let's see. This keeps lifting up, so I need to kind of hold it down and give it its last little poke through. God, I'll be glad to get this all around. Jesus. Dropped you. Let's see here. Where are you? Am I upside down? Upside right? Can't tell. Let's try this way. Anyway, there we go. She's under all the sides. Everything sandwiched in. Perfect. I don't have to worry about it. Whew. Okay. Over and out. Yeah, and I forgot one other thing. Like on this side, this wood was dry. That's the top of the floor or whatever, so I left it. This side I cut it off, and then I just stuck in a little shim. Actually, piece that I cut off for my beam. It was a perfect thickness. So I just put it under there, and once this cures, I'll just zip it. Make it flush. Because I'm going to have my floor run over the top of this. Maybe. I might leave it exposed. Actually, you know what? I left the back exposed. I might leave that exposed so I could do future investigations. Taking a peek at it. Alright. I'm going to get underneath, screw it from the back, and the day is done. This is what it looks like from under here. And there's that cover that goes on it. And now I got bearing onto this. It supports that, which it never had before. Then with this glue, you just wet your finger. And you just kind of smooth it out. So I don't got to do it later. We'll probably actually go back and put it over these holes where I put the screws. And then anywhere else there's a gap. Just a good sealant. Probably even this wood. Even though it's pressure treated. Yeah, just continue on screwing the whole way. All the way over. There. Now I'm done. I friggin' was using this glue. Just gonna use a little bit of it. Where is it? Anyway, one of my glue guns. And the friggin' thing broke and just kept spitting out glue. So I glued everything. And then I screwed also this beam, this aluminum beam, into there. Screwed every foot or so. Initially that was screwed to that piece of wood that was there. So, but yeah, I used that PL Max. Once I realized it was busted and it was going to be ruined, I figured I might as well use it up. That's it. I put this temporary floor on, leave this for a day or two, then come back and finish this floor. Finally get this floor done. Have a bit of space to work around and start working on the walls. Yeah, the walls and, you know, over the wheel wells. Start doing a little bit of light framing in here for the walls out a little bit. But anyway, that's how you put in a front header.